This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Raps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Raps, where the big boys play.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to introduce to you The Voice Party. Here we have our wonderful musical guest, voice of the angels. Introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. My name is DELACiiO from East Oakland, California, and we're here, baby.
Hey. I kept wanting to finish that by going, D Generation X proudly brings to you it's WWF Tag Team Champions of the World.
I like because when your intros, they start getting more passionate, ladies, and like as the time goes. Hey,
it's like we're the Royal Rumble right now, man. WrestleMania.
Speaking of that, you could cut a wrestling promo, man.
I could. Let's do it, man.
Do it.
I'm a big WWE fan, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we just found another thing in common.
Yeah.
I'm
telling you, man. It's like right away.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not kept up with it in years.
Yeah, me too.
I seen Bad Bunny was on it on Monday Night Raw. I was like, oh, okay. He's on Raw, cool. But I'm like, as far as everybody else, I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
Yeah, I know. I kind of when John Cena came in, that's kind of like I don't remember much after that.
Yeah, I mean, John Cena was the man. I remember.
Yeah.
Did you guys keep up on the Undertaker thing that came out?
Oh, where he was on the podcast and talking about how wrestlers now are soft and.
Well, there was a whole thing about like his injury and stuff about like his knee or something.
Oh,
not
yeah.
or his back.
I saw the interview.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back at a random point in time.
Yeah.
They will.
He's the man. Undertaker's a legend. I used to get scared when he used to come out. All the lights used to come off. I was like, oh shit, when is he gonna come on?
Yeah.
Yeah, wrestling is one of those things that, like, once you're truly over, they can practically bring, like, exhume your grave and have a skeleton come out there.
Get in there.
And the skeleton will, like, lay you out with the big boot and the leg drop, and it's like, oh, the Hulkster's back. Back from the dead. And people will still pop for you.
Oh yeah.
Even though you can barely move around in the ring. Like, if you can move just a little bit.
That's all you gotta do.
You get a cover.
That's all you gotta do.
All you gotta do. Man, you got a lot of things going on.
I try.
Explain to everybody what OVNI is.
OVNI is my new EP. It's actually my debut EP as a solo artist.
Nice.
I started working on it actually during quarantine last year, around March, April. It's actually pretty funny how it turned out. My boy Chito Floriano hit me up and he was like, hey man, we should work on some music. I was like, yeah, send me something. And at that time, I was transitioning as far as music, as my style. I'm more of a romantic guy. I like to write more romantic type of music. Before, I used to be party, turn up, ratchet, puro pinche party type
112
of music. I transitioned into more of a Spanish R&B. But anyways, he sent me like 2-3 beats and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not feeling these, man. And then he sent me this specific one. It's actually, it was my first single. It's called Amor. And I remember I listened to that beat and I was like, that's the one. That's the one. I literally laid down the reference. I sent it right back to him and he was like, dude, let's do a whole EP. I was like, all right, send me some more sounds. And then he sent me some more sounds and we just pretty much developed the whole thing during quarantine, packaged it up, and then released it on New Year's this year, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you said Spanish R&B. That's where you look kind of...
That's kind of the vibe. It's funny that...
I couldn't think of what to label it when I was listening to your...
So that's what I'm gonna get to now. I showed it to a couple people and they liked it, which was good. But then the following question was, what is it categorized under? I'm like, I don't know. Latin pop, Latin. I don't know. So I was like, okay, that's where we came up with the name OVNI, because OVNI is UFO in Spanish, right? And the whole reasoning and the whole meaning behind it is that I'm basically a new artist again. coming into the industry, so I'm basically unidentified.
Yeah.
So my sound is unidentified. I'm an unidentified artist coming into the industry. So I'm all right. Let's name my first project OVNI.
That's awesome.
And here we are now.
Dude, when I saw OVNI, I know what it meant.
Right.
And I was like, this has got to be something about drugs. It's got to. I come on, you know. So I'm glad. I wouldn't have been disappointed if it was.
Hey,
it's awesome. It makes sense.
You know, there's some quotes in there, you know, but
no, I know, I get it, but like that's it has like a deeper meaning, because that's what I thought of. Like, wait, is this? It's not reggaeton. It's not. You know, it's.
There's a reggaeton song on there actually. Independiente is a reggaeton song.
Okay.
Full reggaeton.
But it has a different
influence.
feeling than than what we think of when it comes to reggaeton.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's just me or Chito, Floriano, and Ave actually, they co-produced that record, and you know, it's basically they brought in the influence of the Bay Area to the reggaeton. You know, I mean, we're Mexican Americans, and you know, we've always wanted to do reggaeton. We had these conversations, let's do a reggaeton track, and I was kind of skeptical about it just because, you know, it's not accepted, you know, for a Mexican to do reggaeton.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've tried it for years. You know, I used to write for other artists. You know, I used to be in the studio listening to people make reggaeton or dance hall in Spanish and stuff like that, reggae in Spanish. And, you know, it took me a long time to actually get the organic feel. I'm like, man, I wanted it to sound good. Yeah. I don't want it to sound corny, you know?
Or
so
like everyone else.
Exactly, you know? So, I mean, we Independiente, we kind of just got in the studio and it came out organic, and it's doing pretty good. It's actually one of the favorite songs on the project from the public. So it's doing good.
I like your little like before, what was it called before every song? Asu Madre.
Asu Madre.
Oh,
yeah, man. So that's the slogan. That's my brand.
I was like, this guy's old. Like, he's an old guy. He's an old man.
Man, Asu Madre, that's my brand. I actually started developing that back in 2015. You know, and obviously, I mean, we're Latinos. We all, you know, it's a saying. It's an
like
expression.
It's an old man, like frustration, like an old man who's frustrated, like
yeah. I just what I did.
English direct translation or no?
I got you. So people usually tend to ask me, what does Asu Madre mean? They read mother or madre and they're like, that means something with mother.
Yeah.
True to an extent, but it's basically an expression. So Asu Madre, when somebody says Asu Madre, it's like, oh shit, or oh damn. So the way that I branded my brand is basically, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. You know, you could be a luchador, you could be a CEO, you could clean bathrooms, whatever you do, you do your best at it. You set the bar up high and you make people react. If they don't know what Asu Madre is necessarily, it's just get reaction out of somebody.
It does kind of sound like you're going, oh, mama, you know, like or like, you know, what was it, like the old Italian expression, mamma mia.
Yeah, I thought of like son of a bitch, like, you know, like, because for me it's anger, you know, like anger. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we just.
But now that I meet you, you're not an angry guy.
Nah, man, I'm happy. I'm pretty uplifting, positive. I'm happy we're alive. You know, we woke up. Yeah. A little hungover, but. We woke up.
All the way woke.
We're woke. That's the biggest blessing.
All the way woke.
All the way woke. What influences did you have for music wise? Like, I mean, of course, you know, I'm pretty sure, like, when listening to it, your music, I can tell, like, you know, like cumbia, salsa, like you listen to all that, but like, what? So
growing up, I mean, my mom, you know, Saturday mornings, you know, cleaning up. My dad used to have like the CD, like this 53 CD player, you know, you 53 CDs and you just push shuffle. And man, the music selection in that CD player was amazing, you know, because my mother, she had a very dynamic playlist. My dad had a very dynamic playlist. You know, my dad had very old school, like, Los Muecas, Los Bukis, Joan Sebastian, Pancho Barraza, Los Yonix, La Mafia. I could just go on. I actually just made a playlist the other day, so like that's why it's all so fresh. Yeah. And then my mom, Maná, you know, rock en español, cumbia, bachata, reggaeton. My mom was like, she liked all the pop stuff, the stuff that was hot. Yeah. My
like
dad
more
loved
modern stuff.
Exactly.
At the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, I grew up listening to all of that type of music, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest, you know, growing up, I hated it. Yeah, me too. I used to get dropped off at school. I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna put some rap on. Like, this is not. I used to throw on the 50-cent CD. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. You're not dropping me off to this.
Many, man.
And
I don't want to listen to a song that ends in tan tan.
At the very end, every single one.
And then so then, you know, every session actually before, you know, every writing session before for OVNI, like I would listen to literally the same artists live, which would be Joan Sebastian, Pancho Barraza, Mi Enemigo Era El Amor. And I would just go into this place, man. I don't know where it would take me, but that music would just take me to, I guess, OVNI. It would take me out of this world, you know. And I was just like, you know what I wanted to do is bring that style of writing and mix it with newer sounds of today.
That's a beautiful thing, man, because the writing, like in some areas, it's kind of like degraded. Like it's like you bring up a good point. Like for me, as far as like musicians that I grew up with, like Juan Gabriel, I look at some of the music, like, dude, the writing was like phenomenal for and then not to diss anyone.
Querida.
His little dance. I
actually
do that in the shower.
I actually saw him live, man. I was blessed to see him live before he passed away in LA. It was I forgot what festival it was. I was there. Man, he was amazing.
He's one of my favorite musicians, like, of all time. But when I was a kid,
yeah,
I hated it too. Like, come on, play something else.
Something hip, you know?
I listen to Coolio, Mom.
The fact that you got to see him before he passed is huge.
Oh yeah,
that's like seeing Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you know Juan Gabriel, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, he's
I'm
like,
sure if we played one, like,
yeah, it's
one of his bigger songs.
He's like worldwide. Known worldwide.
And a lot of artists nowadays too, they like cover a lot of his songs, so his songs are like never gonna die.
No,
I'm probably gonna cover one of his songs.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you should.
Yeah,
you just sang Querida pretty good.
I actually have a grupo too, so I make Mexican music as well, and yeah, so I write. I mean, I'm an overall writer, but you know, I have this grupo. They're called Estilo Improvisado. They're my little cousins, 15, 16-year-olds. Man, they're stupid talented, and you know, we're writing a lot of original music now, and you know, their skills with the guitars are just out of this world, man. So we're having some couple projects on the works there too. And
I'm sure you're there to teach them some stuff from the older days, some older music. That's
some type of influence, because
the writing, man, and some of those older writers, like, you know, I think it's like if you know someone that's interested in being a musician, it's important to show them some of that great classic shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like anybody in life that shows you new music is an important person in life.
Straight up.
You know, anybody that shows me a new song, a new artist, I'm just like, God bless you.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed.
That's funny. Oh, go ahead.
It's amazing how your tastes are informed, not just that they're informed by your parents' tastes, but that it hits you later on in life. Because when you being a kid, you're going, this is lame, I don't even like this. And then you get older, you're like, hey, actually, this is pretty dope stuff. Yeah. That happened to me recently, because my grandfather used to play a lot of funk records. He liked funk, he liked a little bit of disco, he liked some blues. And like, you know, I was like, this stuff is weird. And now that I'm like 35, I stumbled across future funk, which is like, you know, Japanese sort of funk pop era stuff from the 70s and 80s recontextualized and like kind of a chipmunk soul sample. And I'm like, these horns are just amazing. Yeah. And it keeps like the funk aesthetic. And I'm just like, yeah, I probably wouldn't have. I probably like this because of my previous exposure as a kid.
Right,
and not even knowing. Soaking it up, not even knowing. It's crazy.
That's the beauty of music, man.
You said, like, the people that teach you about, you know, other music. Like, growing up, one of my heroes was one of my cousins who plays for banda.
Okay.
He plays trumpet.
Oh, dope.
And he's been playing since he was like 12. Now he still does it. He plays for Banda Cienega.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a local band, but like, when, you know, of course he did the banda thing, and when I hung out with him, he's older than me. He was like deep into heavy metal. I was all about, like, you know, Spanish music and hip hop. You know, Coolio. I was blasting Coolio, and I remember he showed me Slipknot. And
and
I was like, oh wow. And then I got more and more into it, and then I was like discovering, like, you know, Black Sabbath and you know, Led Zeppelin. I was like, thank God for him, because then I grew up and like that was a big part of my life as a teenager.
And that's dope, man, because I feel like where we come from, you know, like a lot of times that type or those different styles of music is like looked upon like, what are you listening to? Yeah. Which at the end of the day, it's like I was watching an interview of Tego Calderón the other day, and he's like, you know, I don't know why they try to separate genres. It's like trying to, you know, I forgot exactly how he said it, but he's like, it's basically like segregating us.
Yeah.
You know, you try to segregate people in race, and then they try to segregate people in genres. At the end of the day, music is music. Whatever you like, you like. You know, that's the beauty, man. Rock, I love rock.
Oh, yeah.
AC/DC, man, Metallica.
Nice.
I remember I seen AC/DC, man, live in Coachella.
Damn.
Angus Young, that boy is crazy. That boy is, man, I don't know how, man.
He's hella old, but he's still.
Oh my God, he 1 foot through the whole stage. I was like, whoa.
Van Halen.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. That's. I also used to box myself in. I'm like, I don't listen to that shit.
Yeah.
That happened when EDM was getting big. Like, you know, when EDM was growing.
It's kind of like you were like hit. You were hit it. You're like I like this.
I don't like this.
But when I'm around my friends, it's whack.
Some whack ass shit.
Yeah.
But I started to appreciate that too, and then I started discovering older shit, and like, you know, like the history of, like, I don't know, when I get into something, I just start looking at the history of it, like, oh shit, yeah, and then like at one point I remember saying, I don't want to listen to reggaeton, but then I started listening to it, and I'm like, oh damn, I appreciate like where it went and where it came from,
man. Yeah. Because like Daddy Yankee, man, that's one of the pioneers.
Like the biggest pioneers.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Gasolina came out, Barrio Fino, like that was one of the first CDs I bought with my own money as well. I remember I bought 50 Cent, The Massacre. I had Get Rich or Die Trying.
Was that your first album?
That's the first album I bought with my own money.
Classic.
I went to Walmart. It was on Hagenberg in East Oakland. I said, Mom, I want to go buy this 50 Cent album. Who's 50 Cent? Doesn't matter. Take me to Walmart, please. And I bought The Massacre, man, and I called all my friends. You know, I didn't have a cell phone, so I had to use a house phone. Hey, man, I just got the new 50 Cent album, man. And I remember it had the song with the game on it, and I was like, yeah, and I got the game album too. I was trying to be the coolest man. And they're like, wait, yeah. So
wait, how long ago was this?
Oh my God.
How old are you?
05.
I'm 24.
24. Okay.
Yeah, I just turned 24 in November.
Damn, that's crazy. Because I don't.
How young were you at the time?
I want to say, age-wise, I might not remember, but I think I was probably like in first grade, first or second grade.
You were a first grader with the 50 Cent record?
Man, I grew up quick.
I feel old.
I grew up quick, man. I grew up quick. I always hung around older people, you know. So, you know, my cousins were slapping that and listening to rap, and I was just like, man, I adapted to it quick, and you know, I was a hustler since a young age, so I had my 10 $12 it was, or something like that. Man, $10 $12.
That's crazy.
It
was, yeah.
You know how many hot Cheetos I could have bought with $12?
Yeah,
man.
I remember seeing at Tower Records or Rasputin like $5.99 albums. Like, I'm a little older, but like,
yeah.
It's crazy. I used to spend hours at Circus City. You remember you could scan?
That's dope. Oh yeah, Circus City. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That store used to go. That was a dope store too.
One of the first albums I bought, because I didn't really buy albums. It's crazy. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't. One of the first CDs I owned, I asked a friend to make me a copy of he used to steal them online.
Oh, like LimeWire and stuff?
No, before LimeWire. I think it was Napster, bro.
Oh yeah.
Napster or damn, it was a 4 mega upload, something like that. And he burned me a Revolutionary, Immortal Technique. That was like the first CD I paid money for.
But it was a mixtape, basically. But that during those times, it was hot though. The mixtapes,
it was a new thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It was just like, man, just having the freshest music was the thing, you know.
Now, like, it's amazing how like mixtapes have evolved, because I think what Drake came out and was like, guess what? You can do a mixtape, but it sounds more like an album.
What's the difference with mixtape and
I mean,
it used to be, the difference was with mixtapes, you were using other people's beats and you were showing your own prowess with the lyrics. Okay. You're like, look, this dude put out, and it's kind of putting at a disadvantage in a way, because like, let's say you put out something like Candy Shop, right, which is considered to be like a softer record. It's meant to like play more for the clubs and for the ladies. Then you get a more aggressive, not more aggressive rapper. It's not that you're more aggressive than 50, but you get an aggressive rapper who's like, yo, I'm just going to take this track and put up my punchlines all the way through it and kind of make the other guy look soft, you know? And then
like Lil Wayne.
Hey, this guy Lil Wayne.
He's a king of mixtapes, man. Like, boy used to kill any song.
And that used to be the difference. And then Drake came out with like
So Far
Gone. And even before that, I think Comeback Season, you can make an argument, kind of started this trend. But it's like, it sounded more like an album. Like the beats were original, and
right.
There was
so you could tweak them. You could tweak the beats, and it's still considered a mixtape.
No. Actually, So Far Gone, they were all mostly original. Well, there was one or two beats on there that weren't originals.
So was that what Your Boy did? Remember that Bay Area rapper?
I loved Your Boy. That was my guy.
That's what he did, right? Because he used to rap over other people's beats.
Yeah,
and he was fucking
He was
Dope.
on fire. Like
That's another one of
my
those
favorite.
mixtapes I bought with cash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dope.
You know, I remember my friends and I, we were in high school when your boy came out, and we were discussing what his single 16s with me. What do you mean by 16s?
Oh, yeah, we
None of us
mentioned
were-
this before.
None of us were writers or in the industry, and they was there 16 bullets in a clip? Like, what does it mean? You
Nah,
go 16?
yeah.
I was like, oh,
That was
it's
like, that's
oh,
his best
he's
one.
talking about
Asu Madre.
16 bars. It didn't click for me until I started writing. And I
Yeah.
learned what bars were, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's even doper now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I understand.
How often do you write?
Man,
Like,
I try to write every day, man.
Yeah?
You know, sometimes it could be a full song. Sometimes it could be a verse. Sometimes it could just be a hook. Sometimes I wouldn't even write. It'll just be a voice memo, you know. But I consider that writing because from that, you know, it could be a melody that comes from my head. I could, you know, I was driving here and I came up with something.
Wow.
You know, it just you just never know. You just have to take advantage of when the creativity comes out.
Yeah.
But as much as possible, man. Like definitely, it's been one of my goals to just sharpen the pen as much as possible. You know, just to be ready for any type of situation. You know.
To have songs in there to,
Correct.
like, how often do you record?
Well, I have a home studio at my house.
Oh, nice.
So like I said, it just whenever the creativity comes, you know, I try to do it as much as possible every day if I can. But I can't sit here and lie and say I do record every day.
Yeah.
I wish I had that energy to want to do it, but I'm a human, you know.
But it's also
that Tupac energy, because you know I
Right.
think Tupac had a studio at home at one. He must have all them songs that he put out.
Tupac was a legend, man. That
Tupac
boy had
died and had music coming. I think they're still talking about coming
Albums.
out with another album.
albums.
Yeah.
This is gonna be 30 years, and they got that new Tupac with them unreleased records. How much did you?
Yeah.
The only way this fool woke up in the morning, woke up his engineer, and was like, "We gonna record 20 songs today." And he
Yeah.
probably did that every day until the day he got shot.
maybe, man. That's worth ethic though. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
That's the
Yeah.
beauty of being an independent artist too, though, where you can put out like we talked with Alejandro the day that, like, you know, for independent artists. I mean, music in general is changing now,
Right.
where you don't have to crank out a whole album on, you know, when you're already out of inspiration. You need 2 more songs. Like,
He's just like, dude, I'm done.
yeah, you don't have that pressure.
No, not at
That's
all.
also why you don't want to burn yourself out and record like hella songs.
Right, and I mean, that's the thing. My process, I'm still developing it,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like there's songs that I have in the archives from years ago. I have probably 200 plus songs unreleased.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not sitting here and saying they're all done. You know, one might need a verse, one might need a hook, one might need mixing, one might need to get a
They all end in tan tan.
Dun, dun. But that's the thing. That's the thing that, you know, at least, you know, music that's made timelessly is good to put out whenever, you know. So like, let's say I'm working on the next project, my next EP. Oh man, I have a song called Todo Te Lo Di that I recorded 2 years ago. That kind of has the vibe of what I'm trying to go for now. Let's put that there while I'm recording these new songs. And it's just it's the beauty of just having it.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier, it's like just to always be ready, you know. Even if I recorded a song, or let's say I wrote a couple verses to a beat from YouTube that I never released. Now let's say I'm in the studio with a producer and I'm like, well, I think that song might sound good on this beat. So now we just kind of flip that, and now it's like, you know, it's
Putting it all together. And
working
stuff.
smarter, you know,
Okay.
instead of harder.
Definitely.
So you can like pick and choose and like strip songs of the beats and put in. Like,
Yeah.
that's the fun of it, right?
Exactly,
That's
like-
what I always struggle with. Like whenever I hear a song, because you touched on writing. Like that's a fucking important part of. There's some songs that have good writing, but the beat sucks.
Beats suck. Yeah, exactly.
Or you know, the band going with like, oh, that sucks.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, yeah. and it, like, how do you finally fucking decide, like, all right, I'm gonna keep this beat, throw this in there, and then this is like, you know, that for me must fucking, because you've done stand up, so with stand up is different, where tonight I'm gonna do this show and I'm gonna end this punchline this way, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do it again. No one gives a fuck because it's not recorded,
Yeah.
and there's a different crowd. But for the
Yeah.
music, like later on, like I wanna change this beat for this song, but your fans, let's say you go perform live,
Right.
they know this song this way, they want you to do it that way, but you want to fuck around
And put
be
it out
creative.
differently.
And
Yeah.
that's what I
That's
heard.
what remixes are for.
That's what remixes are for. I heard. I went to see the Deftones. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like the last song they sing, like, you know, it's one of their classics from their first albums, and the lead singer he said it in interviews that he likes to fuck around and remix stuff even though it pisses off the fans because you know they came to hear
Yeah.
their classics.
They have expectations.
They have
for
expectations. They're gonna riot if we don't play this. But what he does is the lyrics. I guess like for that last song, the lyrics of the hook, they match up with Cypress Hill's Kill a Man.
Yep. I could just kill a man.
Yeah, so he says that instead of the original hook for that song, just to kind of, and it works. It like it has the same tempo and like, oh shit. But that's what I see like for music.
That's the dope thing about when you're performing live though, and especially with a band, like you get to improvise.
That's true.
You know, I love that. I've only performed with a band a handful of times, but the vibe and the energy behind it, man, it's dope because I can mess up on my rap. And then I'm like, oh, I have a band. Let's just switch it up, guys. And now I might even sing a whole different song. The crowd does not know that, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's just about how you.
Show must go on.
It's how you just do it.
Yeah, you improvise. And
and you know, just give them that energy, that swag, and you're like, oh, did he mess up?
That's the good thing about being on stage with a band. Like you can. On stage when you do stand up, I one time, it was the first time I ever did stand up high.
Oh shit!
Like I'm not good at that. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
And, I started off with the punchline of my last joke, like on my first like oh shit, and then it hit me like, well, how do I save this? I just walk off stage. No, I mean, but you know that's what it was in my head. Is like. That's the beauty of, and then it also makes the show fun.
I would have been like, guys, I'm just high as shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One time I
was having a heart attack.
Stage
That's for real.
and forgot all my lyrics except the hook.
Holy
But it dawned on me. But it dawned on me. I said, look, these people don't know me. These people are not, I don't have like a huge following. So I have the luxury of just freestyling it. And as long as I keep it as aggressive as the hook itself,
they will never know.
Yep,
Yeah.
they'll never know.
Yeah.
They'll never know.
We just saw that recently on the verses, E40 and Too Short. He's like, I forgot the lyrics of this shit. And he was just, you saw that? Remember?
I missed that part.
Too Short.
I
God.
saw it, but I missed that part. That's crazy.
He just like, I forgot the lyrics to this shit. And then he would just, hey, my girl. And then he would just.
You're just going along with it.
That's the beauty of live magic. That's why I always talk about live magic. You know, you get to get away with it. It's an experience.
Right.
And that's why you perform.
Exactly, because when you're in the studio and you're recording, you know something's gonna come out.
Yeah.
You have time to edit.
You gotta iron shit out.
Edit, revise,
Yeah.
edit, revise, do whatever, you know, send it to somebody. Hey, what do you think? Maybe you could change this, you could do that. You have time to do that. When it's live, it's just
boom.
It's
fun.
right now.
It's good to have fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because if you're having
have to have fun.
Yeah, if you're having fun, they're
Crowd's
gonna
have fun. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
When did you actually like become a musician? Like when was it when you started performing? Because you mentioned you were.
I mean, I could say the first time, man, that I've ever performed, I was probably like 5 or 6 years old.
Really?
And I was at a family party.
High five. Same here.
I was at a family party, and you know the family, you know, my cousins, they had a grupo. And I was like, well, fuck it, let me sing. And I was like, hey, do you guys know Ramon Ayala, Un Rinconcito en el Cielo?
Yeah, I know that song.
And dude, at 5, 6 years old, I don't know how I memorized that.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, my mom said that it's on VHS somewhere. I don't know where that tape is.
You gotta find that.
But I just, yeah, man, I guess I just killed it. And I remember, like, you know, all the you know, my tias, my cousins, and whatever other girls were at the party, they would just came up to me afterwards, and I was just like, holy shit, this is kind of dope. You know, and I was just like, maybe they're just being nice. But then, you know, years later, I asked, I'm like, hey, did I actually sing good? They're like, yeah, you did pretty good. You're not even nervous. You were the lead singer of that group for all we knew. And then years before that, man, I used to perform in front of my cousins in diapers, Cumbia Kings. I used to have.
Oh, we're just listening to them today.
Oh, dope! I used to have this electric guitar, and I have that VHS. I got that footage, and I would be in diapers, and then with my little electric guitar, Azuquita, Azuquita. But then after that, man, like just developing. I used to perform at high schools a lot during high school time. You know, I used to do that. So pretty much, I would say my teenage years was really when, you know, high school was really when I started performing.
And your family like nurtured your career, your musician.
Well, they supported me in anything I did. Really, you know, I tried a lot. I tried everything. I've tried sports. I tried action sports. I tried everything, you know, and I always got good at something, but it just didn't stick.
Right.
You know, it didn't stick for me. The only thing other than music that I really love to this day is soccer.
Okay.
I would play soccer. That's still the love of my life. But when I discovered making music, which was actually by accident, I'll tell you guys in a little bit, I was just like, man, like this is super dope. Like I don't think I'll ever get tired of this. And I still haven't got tired of it. You know, it's just super fun. You know, I really do it for fun, you know, but now developing and try to making it my career and actually really doing this, it's also a fun part in the journey for me because you know, it's something new. You know, I'm used to, you know, having a job and having a certain structure. With this, it's way different, you know, but it's super dope. Super dope.
You're working for yourself now. Right?
Exactly. You know, I'm my own boss. I'm at the end of the day, I'm in charge of what's going to happen or not. But, you know, the more work I put in, the more, you know, results we'll see, hopefully.
Now you were, before going solo, you were previously involved in a more established group's camp, correct? Yeah. So for a long time in my career, I was with Los Racas. I was named Raka Iggy. That was my name. Los Racas were still Los Racas. They're the group. I was a solo artist the whole time, but you know, I pretty much they helped me develop myself as an artist. You know, they pretty much took me under their wing as little bro and pretty much showed me the ropes, showed me a lot, man. You know, I was able to travel the world, go on tour with them, write music with them and stuff. I actually helped write a couple of the songs on their last album, Manes de Negocio. So yeah, man, shout out to Los Racas, man. They without them, I would not be at where I'm at now and know the things that I know now, you know.
So you picked up a lot of knowledge about the industry with them.
Definitely.
That's one thing. It's always like important to know. Patrice O'Neal had this quote. I was funny until I started doing stand up. Like it's because you get into the business side of it. Like, I forgot who else said this. Like, it's show business. Like, which word is bigger? Business. Like, you can kind of get sucked into that meat grinder of an industry, and it really makes you question whether you would really love this shit or not.
Exactly, man. And a lot of times it's like it's a thin line right there. You know, it's like being an artist, being a businessman. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I feel like I've developed myself as a businessman because a couple years back I took a break from music. I went into sales.
Hey, you too?
Yeah, I went into sales and honestly, man, like shout out to Volkswagen, shout out to Tony, shout out to DELACiiO. Those are my ex-managers / mentors, man. They really molded me to be the man that I am as far as how to carry myself as a professional, how to, you know, do business straightforward and in the right way. And overall, man, they just taught me so much in life that kind of now prepared me in a better way to deal with the business of music, you know, and as I still educate myself more on it. Day by day.
You see the wolf's perspective on like selling.
Oh man, I think that for me was natural though, man, because I'm from Oakland, you know. So I used to sell candy in school back in elementary, you know, and it's like that's how I used to make my money to go buy hot Cheetos.
That's a very good point you made, man. Because like when I got into door-to-door sales, I thought, I'm gonna kill it.
Oh, dude, what kind of door-to-door sales did you do?
Cable.
I used to do a newspaper when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
I don't know how the hell that shit worked. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I was a freshman in high school, and these freaking white guys in the van, no disrespect, came to my school. They're like, you guys want to work? And I'm like, I guess, you know. And that was pretty much my first job. I don't know how it works. So we would go all over the Bay. We'd go to Richmond. We'll go to Hercules, Pittsburgh, across the bridge, Daly City, and we just go knock on the door and have people sign up for newspapers. And even if they didn't pay for it, we would get paid. So I don't know how it worked. I don't know what kind of scam it was.
Yeah, I mean, what was the name of the newspaper?
It was any local newspaper. It was the San Jose Mercury, the Tribune. It was whatever local.
You didn't realize, but with those guys that recruited you, when you were knocking on the door, they'd break into the back.
I mean, you're technically in the state of California. It is illegal to work under the age of 16. So I'm looking like
no, but not if you were doing newspapers, because that's I think that because I remember. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's an exception, but it was different because they were always hiring young teenagers.
Like paper boys, because I used to deliver papers too back in junior high. I used to live in Oregon for a bit, and like back in junior high, I would 4 or 5 in the morning.
For us,
there are exceptions. Like I know Hollywood has some exceptions for kid.
For us, it was different. If you didn't sell, you basically didn't get paid. There was like a little like salary you'd get, which is like minimum wage.
Nothing. Yeah.
But you basically had to try to get as many
that commission,
at the door, at
get that
commission.
check. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm gonna kill it at this because I can handle rejection. I can handle, we go to open mic. Like, yeah, this ain't.
Yeah.
But nah, it teaches you a lot. Like you said, it teaches you like how to persevere, even though like there's a lot of rejections. And
it like takes
of,
away the fear of getting rejected.
and it also improves those like few minutes that you're gonna talk to someone
quick.
How to get the best shit out.
Elevator pitch has to be on point.
Yeah.
Man,
Cut the
it was.
fluff. Cut the fluff.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was weird because like the way like we used to pitch it, it was like supposedly it would be for like our school program, and that's how we would get people. I don't even know if I should say this. It was weird, dude. But it paid me. I was 14. I was getting paid, so I was like,
That's pretty
Fuck
cool.
it.
That's cool. You meet new people.
it was yeah.
You know what I used to do when I did door to door? Like, all right, you don't want to buy this? All right, well, I have a show coming up.
By the way.
Yeah, by the way, yeah. And it's like every person you talk to is opportunity for
Exactly.
something, whether it's,
And that's taking the ultimate opportunity of any situation. You know, you come up, okay, well, you didn't buy this, I have this.
Yeah.
Or here's a sticker, here's a flyer.
how about a hug?
High five. I'm nice.
Come on, would a bad guy smile?
At you at your front door?
Yeah.
Maybe. Those are good times, man. Good times.
Yeah,
Good times. Good times.
That's
So how did you like traveling with them? Was that
It was dope, man. I remember the first time, the very, very first time, I was probably like 15 or 16, and it was to LA. It was the first time, but this was
16?
also
You were
like
16?
around 15. I would say 15. 15.
like a Mexican Lil Wayne.
Man, it was freaking crazy, dude. I mean, but honestly, man, if it wasn't for music, man, like I probably wouldn't be here, So realistically, man, music saved my life. Youth centers and music, they saved my life and they turned it around. So as much as I was involved in it, like it was beautiful because I was away from the streets.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so the first time I remember, I was like, prior to that, I would only travel with my family, and if we would go back, back and forth to Mexico or to LA, but anytime you would travel with family to LA, it's like, all right, you go to the family's house. Hi, tia, hi, Theo, hi, cousins, whatever, play some video games. Then you go to like an amusement park and then visit another family's house and then go back to their house. And that's it. And, that's all I knew of LA. But realistically, whenever I would go to LA, I would be in the valley. I'd be in like in Pacoima, San Fernando, so I'm not really seeing LA.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to LA for some music stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is I asked my mom, hey, Mom, can I go to LA? Nah, what? At first, I'm young, I'm still young, but I mean, I was. Mom, I'm sorry, I'm still going. I don't care if you say no. And before you know, she calls me, where you at? I'm in LA. Oh. All right, well, be careful, whatever. And
okay.
I remember, we would go to these different studios. I think we went to Telemundo as well, and then there was like an interview. It was like one of my first Spanish interviews ever. And it was like on some random stuff. It was just like a Univision person outside of the hotel. Oh, te podemos hacer una entrevista? Can we interview you? And
Estoy muy excited.
Yeah, and they let me do it because it was nothing. It was just like on some questions about some random reportajes que hacen and stuff. And like at that time, my Spanish was no bueno.
Oh, wow.
No bueno.
No.
I was nervous.
You understood it though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I understood it, but I just didn't know how to talk
Same.
properly.
Here.
Fluently.
You say like slang words, Spanish slang words.
Yeah. And that I was nervous, and then I would just stutter, and dude, like I was so embarrassed, and like for me it was like I need to better my Spanish.
Yeah.
At that moment, I was only rapping in English. I wasn't singing yet. I was only rapping in English. And then that kind of like influenced me to, like I want to do more Spanish, and over the years it developed, and that's when I transitioned into just doing Spanish only.
That's great. That's awesome because, you spoke Spanish early on in life, right?
Spanish was my first language.
Your first language.
But, growing up.
You lose it.
Exactly.
Especially
Exactly.
working sales where you're speaking 90% English.
And then your family's trying to learn English. They stop speaking Spanish for a little bit. And you're just like, Ma, speak to me in Spanish.
Yeah.
I just saw the Twinkies by. Like, what the hell?
Oh yeah, the machine. Yeah.
Hell yeah! Right in front.
She caught that the first time, like we recorded here, and like you messaged me like you saw the Twinkies.
I sent him a picture and I circled it. I was like, I don't know what I said. So.
So like you mentioned that you were rapping first. So
Yeah.
why is it that you started out with rap and then migrated to singing? Why not Because it seems like to me like you started off singing when you were little. So why not sing first, or why not both first?
Well, let me explain that. As I was saying, now we're to the part where I'm going to tell you how it accidentally happened
For sure.
that I started making music. So we're going to go back to 8th grade, Alliance Academy, East Oakland, 98th Avenue. I would just moved back from Oregon. I lived in Oregon for a couple years. My mom sent me to Oregon because I was a bad kid. Came back. I overheard these guys talking about somebody had a studio at their house. And, you know, it's my boy Sips. He's actually a film director now. He makes videos and stuff. He did back then, too. He was like that guy that did everything. He made beats. He rapped. He was a photographer. He shot, you know, videos. And, you know, I was just overhearing. It was in Miss Wong's class. It was math class. I'm surprised I still remember her name. And I was like, shit, I want to check out the studio. You know, like I've never recorded before. I've never made music. Only thing I would do is probably freestyle in my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, I rap. Can I come check out the studio? You know? In my mind, you know, I've been watching MTV Cribs forever. So I'm thinking, oh, he has a studio at his house. She's probably gonna be fucking big, amazing, fucking dope. We get to his house.
Over here we have the pool.
we
The Cristal.
the dude had a all pink booth.
Oh wow.
With a USB microphone, a laptop, Cool Edit Pro, and like his dad's speakers from the dad's music. And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck did I get into? Why am I here? This is so whack. And he's like, all right, you want to rap? Let's get it. And I'm like, oh shit, he put me on the spot. You know, and I've always been the type of person, you put me on the spot, I'm gonna have to do what I have to do. I gotta execute. And I remember, man, the beat was kind of flanky, whatever, but you know, it was just like I remember the melody was like na 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 na. I don't remember the words for nothing, but I remember that. And I was like, all right, so I recorded the hook, and then I'm like, all right, we got to write the verses. And I didn't know how to write a verse. I'm like, what the hell is a verse? How do we do this? What's going on here, you know? So I'm like, my way of rapping at first, like I would just take anybody's lines. Like I would take other rappers' lines, and I'd just be like Wooty Woot said, ba 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 ba.
Oh, so
something. I would just reference rappers. So I'd be like, you know, I'm at the candy shop, like 50 Cent said, da 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 da, you know, something. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, the final product came about. He mixed it. He bounced it down. We played it, and I mean, bullshit to the side. I was like, okay. I was like 13 years old, 14 years old, and I was like, oh, if this wasn't me, I'll probably listen to this. It's not too bad. And then, you know, I would go every other day to his house, and we would record a song every time, record. And then, you know, we moved on to high school. You know, the songs would get hot in high school. We had like this little group of us that were rapping, and like, you know, we would get hella props at school, and it was hella cool because I'm like, I'm at school, I'm the man, oh shit. And I just loved it, man. Like I loved the attention that I would get from it. You know, it was dope. But I also like being in the studio. I like creating. Exactly. I love creating, man. It was just like a niche that like I just wanted to keep doing it more and more and more and more and more. You know, and that's how I fell in love with making music. It was an accident.
That is a beautiful accident.
Man.
Yes.
Nice.
That is a dope story. Yeah, it's amazing that first time you get in the studio and you have that taste. And similar to me, like my story, how I got into rap is a little different. Like I didn't go seeking to be in anyone's studio. Like I kind of started freestyling in high school off of a joke. One of my friends was like, "Yo, we should start a record label. It'd be great." So I took it serious. I went home, typed my little lyrics and stuff. And then like, even though it was just a joke, like I kept writing more songs. You know what I mean? I kept freestyling and ciphering more. So when I got to college, I hit one freestyle that was like an anti-G-Unit freestyle because I was a Murder Inc. guy when 50 first came out. I kinda took their side in the beef. So when 50 made that big move and signed all of them dudes, like it was like Mobb Deep, MOP, I just went on this like 2-minute anti-G-Unit diatribe. Like I call MOP moral pussy. And you know, and then like my friend Zig at the time, shout out to Rob Holden. He was like, "Yo, man, like me and this dude named A Money, we're gonna go to the studio this weekend. You should come with us."
Yeah.
And I was so flattered and taken aback. I was like, "Really? Somebody actually thinks that I may have potential to actually do this? All right, cool." So I went.
That just sparked it, huh?
It did. It did that totally. So we're going over to this studio, and then they're playing like I remember the beat. It was that Lloyd Banks song that I'm so fly, I got money stacked. Right. So then like I come out with this once again, this 50 Cent diss. It's Lloyd Banks diss. And it's like my first time ever in front of a mic, and it's totally on beat and what have you. And then like I'm like, yo, I like this. I really like this. So it got to this point where I'm like writing songs for like the other guy. You know what I mean? Me and Rob are both writing songs for him.
Right.
And then at some point we just broke off into our own thing, and the group got huge.
Yeah.
And it's just been doing that ever since.
Dope.
But reflecting on my earlier question, when did you decide like, yo, I'm going to start singing on record now? You know,
you do both. You mix it up.
Yeah. Now I can mix it up.
Yeah.
It was probably much later than that. You know, I would probably say once I was more like 18, 19-ish, I was like, okay, I want to sing. And the reason I wanted to sing is I love to sing. You know, my dad, we would be anywhere and he would sing. You know, we could be in the grocery store. We could be... he'd be dropped anywhere. He'd be whistling, singing, and like I was just like that kind of grew on me. And now I'm like my dad. You know, I'll be anywhere just singing. I don't care where I'm at. I'll be singing. I'll be at Walmart singing. Some girls or some lady or something would be like, "Oh, that's a really nice voice," and I'm like, "Oh shit, thank you." You know, and like for me, it was just like, all right, I want to try it because a lot of people told me not to. They'd be like, "Oh, you should stick to rapping. Don't sing." I'm, all right, it's good. Once I'm singing and you want me to sing on your song, I'm not gonna sing on your song.
Heard that.
And you know, it was all about developing it. You know, developing the voice more and more and more. You know, like the more I started, just like you, like when I would get recognition from other people, I'd be like, oh shit, okay, maybe I do have a nice voice. It took me a long time to actually understand that. Okay, maybe I do have a nice voice. The more people that told me, it's like, okay, the more confidence I got. I'm like, oh, I got a nice voice. Let me start utilizing it. And I would start just practicing. And we're still practicing. But one thing, man, I regret, in 7th grade, I used to be in choir class, right? I regret dropping that class so bad. Man, my teacher's name, he had the funniest name. Triple C, right? First name was Charles. Middle name was Charles. Last name was Charles.
No.
Charles. And dude, I did a semester in that class. That was when I was in Oregon, you know, living in Oregon, 7th grade. And shit, dude, it was weird because at that time, I guess I was anti-girls or something. I don't know what was wrong with me. I wanted to be in gym class, you know, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm the only boy in this class. Like, I don't want to be in this class. Yeah. And now I'm just like, dude, if I would have stayed in that class, my voice would have been so much developed.
Yep.
Now, harmonies, notes, key, you know, I would have been, you know, but it's okay. Everything happens for a reason.
But you may have not been involved with music the way you are.
Exactly. Everything happens for a reason, man. So I don't regret it, but I said I regretted it, huh?
We did. It's okay to take things back.
Yeah.
We'll edit that note.
Okay.
It's crazy.
We're going to cut that off.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil.
Phil's doing that right now.
It's crazy. Like, if you think about it, though, isn't everything you're involved with essentially an accident?
Yeah, man.
Like,
it's organic. I like to use the word organic. It happens organically. Anything that happens, like we're here today, we're just vibing. I mean, before we started recording, it was a vibe. Everybody,
I never met you.
Exactly. We just started chopping it up. Yeah. Who came out and called me fool? I was like, that's my boy, man. You know, and I was like, I felt the love and the energy right away, you know, and it happens organically. So that's beautiful that you guys welcome people like that, man, because
we've talked on social media, you and I. Yeah. Not these guys, but that's why I was like, he's like, hey, what's up, fool? And then I'm like, what the fuck? You also did that to what's his name? Wilson, the country singer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jake Wilson.
Yeah. What's up, cracker? I was like, what the fuck? Like, well, I know. Right. Okay. I know, but it was still like, yo, like you never know. Like he doesn't.
I thought he said, "What's cracking, cracker?"
That's what he said.
Usually what Phil said.
Oh my God.
He'll say it to me too.
Asu Madre.
He says that to me too.
But see, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm a wheat cracker.
No, but
wheat then.
I don't think you guys had met at that point. You guys hadn't met, so I was like, but that's just how he is with everyone. Like, what's up? You know, he just.
I mean, one of these days that's going to come back to bite me. Somebody's going to just punch me in the face and be like, "Well, I had that coming."
It was
To be honest,
coming.
I'm surprised it took this long.
We talked about it. We actually manifested it. Shit.
Yeah, and
Good
you know,
vibes, good vibes.
good vibes. Yeah, and like everything. You got me thinking about like how everything happened. Yeah, it was all like accidental.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
like my first joke I ever told. It was some joke that was super dirty. That like I was like 5 or 4.
Yeah.
And I remembered it because one of my cholo cousins said it to me, and I was like, oh, I want to tell this to somebody. And it was the joke ended in "Jálame los huevos."
Oh shit.
It was a stupid joke, but that's how it ended. It was Spanish.
Yeah.
And I said it to my mom in front of my dad.
She slapped you.
Yeah, I got in trouble. I got in trouble. What's that?
And your dad laughed?
My dad didn't laugh in front of her.
But afterwards.
But then
Nico.
they were having a bonfire with my uncles,
Hey.
and my dad's like, hey, "Come here," and he's like, "Hey, tell that joke." And then I was like, "But mom said no." Like, just tell her. I'm like, okay. And I told them. They were all like drunk. You know, that was the first laugh I ever heard from a group.
Yeah.
And, they were, and then like, you know, and then I would just hear more jokes from other people.
Right.
And I would like whenever my dad and his friend and my uncles would have those gatherings, I would tell it to them. And then because my dad liked it, I just like, oh man, I want to be funny.
Yeah. That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
And it's all
because-
accidental, you know, like
You know, because everybody loves a funny person.
Yeah.
not everybody. once they're
except-
involved in your life, then
Except when you're the class clown.
yeah.
Fucking teachers. They hated me, man.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Oh my fucking goodness. I used to like love making teachers mad. I would go to class just to make teachers mad. Like I once set a record. Like I went to school, got dropped off, got in trouble so fast. By the time my dad got to back home, he already got called to come pick me up, and he was so pissed that day. He was like, "I just dropped you off," and it got to the point where it was just like, you know what, just walk home now. Like I'm just like, all right, I understand. It worked out to my benefit though, because I would never go home. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, you know
Man.
the bad kids when they're young and they're bad.
Yeah.
They mature a lot faster as they grow up. Sometimes, like mentally, like
Right.
you know, because you talk to adults more than you talk to kids because you're always in trouble.
Exactly. And Mr. Leon, I used to be in his office. Oh man, I
Like you
don't know.
turned out fine, it seems.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I mean, the thing with me, man, like I always wanted to be successful. I still want to be successful. I mean, there's the various definitions of what successful is.
Right.
You know,
As long as you're happy.
exactly. But to me, it was just like I never wanted to let a piece of paper identify my success.
For sure.
You know, and I actually never graduated high school. I was expelled various times. Yeah, various times. But you know, like for me, I even tried to go to adult school afterwards, continuation schools, just because that's the only thing my mother asked for me. It was like, I just want the high school diploma. And it still kills me that I haven't gave it to her, but I've showed her so much more for her to be proud of.
Definitely.
That, you know, I know that she's proud of what I'm doing and what I've got going. You know, I said, you know what, I might not have a high school diploma, but that's not going to mean that I'm not going to be successful, you know? And then once I started liking to learn was when, you know, stuff actually started making sense for me. You know, I would educate myself. I would watch seminars. I would study the greats, you know, these entrepreneurs, you know, even like Kevin Hart. He's freaking amazing. He's a dope entrepreneur besides just the comedy. That guy's an amazing fucking businessman.
Mogul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone. Even Kobe Bryant, man. Like for me, I actually got the Mamba Mentality logo tatted on my right leg the year he passed, because the year prior to that, like I would study Kobe and his mentality, you know, like growing up, my dad was Lakers fan, you know, I was Lakers fan because dad, Kobe was who I looked up to.
Yeah.
But the mentality that he had, man, like that discipline that he showed, and like he was about it.
Right.
You know, he wasn't just talking here in the seminar interview. He was about it. He would put in that work. You know, this man won 5 championships and then, you know, won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's crazy.
You know, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
but,
nuts, yeah.
but that means that any of us could do it.
Right.
You know, anybody could, you know, you want to do something, you could do it.
Yeah.
You just have to, you know what you have to do and do it. You know, discipline, put in that work.
Put in that work.
Yeah.
Be, you know, consistent and, You know, that's where I got my drive. You know, drive.
That's awesome.
You know, and you know, my mom would always tell me, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to get a job, you know, without that and this." And, you know, your typical, you know, Mexican mother telling you all that. But I said, you know what, Mom, I got this. Don't trip.
you like you come from an immigrant family?
Correct. Yeah, I'm first generation.
Do you ever find it like for them, like our immigrant parents? When you try to do something that's not like, you know, not get a diploma, not get a regular job or whatever, and you're trying to do this other thing like comedy or music, they're like, they see it as like,
They did before. They did before, but like I said, like I just showed them otherwise. I showed them that I can do it. You know, I showed them that there is ways to do it. You know, I showed them that anything takes sacrifice. Yeah. You know, if I'm gonna do this half time, I'm only gonna get half the results. You know, so I'll talk about a little bit of my work career. You know, I've been working, having jobs since 14 years old. I've always wanted to have my own money. I've always wanted to pay for my own things, just to kind of lighten up that weight on my parents. You know, just so they you know don't have to spend their money on me. But you know, in the previous to me quitting actually I got furloughed last year. When I got furloughed in March, it actually inspired me to not go back. Wow. I said, fuck this. Yeah. You guys don't want me? Fuck you. I'll make my own money. But anyways, thanks Volkswagen. Volkswagen of Oakland, they changed my life. You know, shout out to everybody there. You know, Mike Murphy, the owner, Chris Murphy, his son, the general manager. Like, I'm super thankful for them, man, because I literally started at the bottom there. I started at 15 years old washing cars. And my mother always taught me, she said, it doesn't matter what you do, you try your best. And that's kind of what coincides with my brand, Asu Madre. You just try your best. Somebody's going to recognize you doing that work. So from there, you know, I worked my ass off washing cars. Said, I'm going to learn how to wash cars the best I can. Till this day, I wash my own car. I don't like nobody washing my car.
Especially a Volkswagen.
Hey, you know, from there, I was a parts driver. Parts driver was the fucking coolest job ever, man. Shout out Billy, my manager. He'd let me do whatever the hell I wanted. I literally go in the morning, you know, handle the runs. And, you know, by noon till like 5, I was at home getting paid. I mean, I could say this now because I don't work there no more. But the thing was, I got comfortable. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I don't want to be, you know, this is cool, but I need more money. I need to do something else. You know, I'm the type of person, once I master something, I need to do something else. Yeah. You know, my attention span is so short. Yeah. I need to do something else. So then from there,
get distracted by the Twinkies.
The Twinkies. I was like, man, we got to start making something.
I noticed that right away.
I was like,
did they still even sell the mix for Twinkie?
I don't know.
I just heard
Twinkie
that they
go out of business.
They just discontinued Aunt Jemima too, man. Like they just rebranded the packaging.
The name.
Yeah.
I think they stopped making them, but somebody bought the rights to make them.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard, but I could be wrong.
Shark Tank.
Yeah. You know,
I love that show.
It's someone told me this. Sometimes if you're like, let's say you're just a naturally born comedian, a naturally born musician,
right?
And you try to do good at all these other jobs, it's just not gonna work out. Like that's what someone told me at one of the jobs. Maybe they were telling me because I sucked. Like, you should go be a comedian and fucking leave this job.
They were trying to be nice.
They're trying to be nice, yeah. But I do believe that there are sometimes it just doesn't work out because your heart's not in it.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, for me, it's just like I feel like even though I was born here, I still have that heart of an immigrant. Yeah. You know, I am son of an immigrant, but I still have that hustle. You know, I feel like I was still born in a time where I got a little bit of the old school. I got a little bit of the new school. You know, I was still, you know, I don't have to rely on GPS to get somewhere. Thank God. Because what if technology, you know, no more Google Maps? What happens then? It's back to you take the 2nd Street there, you turn left over. You know, it's
how to look at a map.
Exactly.
Walgreens, turn right.
Exactly. You know, and
you're gonna see a big warehouse. It's green.
It's green. You can't miss it. Yeah. You know. So for me, I was just like, man, I don't know. I'm a worker. I love to work. Yeah. I just love to work. It doesn't matter. You know.
As if you don't have a safety net.
Exactly. Yeah. I have to. I just love it. You know. And then from transitioning from parts driver, I transitioned to sell parts. So I was selling parts. That was cool. You know, and it was also while I was switching departments, I was also getting more knowledge. Yeah. You know, so I was always into mechanics and working on cars because of my uncle. So now that kind of helped me learn a whole car as far as parts. Yeah. Inside out, interior, body, engine, everything.
And you can never have too much knowledge.
Exactly.
No,
never,
Phil.
man.
That's
Never.
Phil's line.
You know, I like that. Phil.
That's true, though. Yeah.
You know, and then from there, man, like I just worked my ass off there too, and another opportunity presented itself. You know, my boy Jesse, he's actually from Richmond. He's man, I love Richmond people, man. I don't know why. Everybody from Richmond that I've met in my life has been impactful, very impactful. Chito, man, like that's my brother. And then he's like, hey, man, come to sales, come sell cars. It'll change your life. What the fuck are you talking about? It changed my life. You know, and I would look at him like that crazy, man. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And like the first month was so challenging because it was just like, what the fuck is this? Like I have to, what? Oh my God, you know? And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, man. And he told me something. He's like, hey, man, everybody goes through that first month struggle.
Yeah.
Find the why. Why are you doing this? You know what kind of money is involved here, what kind of money you can make if you hustle. Remember your why, you know, and I ended up, I took a break from music for about 1.5 years, and I just dedicated myself to that. And I had a goal, man. Like, shout out to my mentor, DELACiiO. He showed me how to create a plan of action for my goals.
30, 60, 90 kind of?
In a way, you know, it's just like, okay, like I never imagined writing down, make 100K. I never imagined, okay, that's a goal. I never knew how to make it. I never knew what I had to do. Like, you know, how to really label the things I had to do. Okay. So you want to make 100,000? Yes. Okay. Well, you have to sell about 18 to 20 cars a month. You got to make about, what was it? About 8,887 a month or something like that. You know, and it was just like the breakdowns. I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem as hard now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
You got those.
It's kind of simple.
Goals, yeah.
You know, and then from there, like it's
being
just
organized.
Exactly,
Yeah,
man.
that's how you do
So from there, man, I've learned so many things, man. Emailing, calling, how to be professional, how
Following
to
up.
dress nice. Following up is the most important thing in any industry, man.
I think any artist that's going to be independent should take a year or so.
And take some type of business.
Or work in sales. 2 years of sales, my old boss says he thinks is equivalent to like getting a degree because you talk to so many people and you learn a lot.
Yeah, dude. I would talk to people that made $50,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know, and they were down to earth, like cool ass people, you know, and like, it's just like, it was crazy because when I used to be on the other side of the dealership, I would judge anybody coming in. I was like, I don't fucking and it's like now I get to sit down and I talk to all aspects of people, you know. There's people that we used to call them get me dones, you know, bad credit people that, you know, they just needed a car.
Yeah.
You know, and then to the people that they could buy any car times 10 in here they wanted to. And it was just like the dynamic of how it would switch and how to code switch, how to go from hood language to professional to, you know, it was just like, it was so, I loved it, man. I'm gonna be honest, I loved doing sales. The only thing I didn't love was how much time I had to put in, you know. It took a lot of time. It was early mornings, late nights. Sometimes I would leave 10 11 p.m. but that's what it took for me to get to those monthly goals, for me to achieve my yearly goal, you know. So shout out to Volkswagen, man. They really molded a real one.
Yeah.
So 18 cars a month. That's like, if you're working, hopefully you're making like selling a car once every other day then.
It would be crazy, man, because
which is super possible.
I mean, the most cars I sold in a day was like 4. And I was a badass, man. Like I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and talk super highly about myself, but I put in the work that I could talk it.
Yeah.
You know, like shout out to my boy Dennis, DD Enterprise. Like he was actually a salesman. He never went into a management position, but this guy sold 50 cars in a month once.
He didn't want that pay cut.
Exactly.
That's
Dude,
why, if a sales guy doesn't want to move up to leadership, it's because he take a big pay cut.
Big pay cut. Yeah, that pay plan was not what he wanted. But you know, this guy, he calls himself the GOAT. He talks so much shit, but he backs it up. This guy is consistent every month. 30, 40 cars. I mean, if you know the math behind that, he's
balling.
He's balling. You know, but he you know, I remember the first month that I also went, I told him I'm gonna beat you 1 month. And he told me, and to this day, he's my big bro. He calls me little bro. He's like, you sparked something in me when you said that. I got so much respect for you because dude, that guy's a savage, dude. He somebody disrespects him or something. I don't know how he makes it happen, but you get on the bad side, it's like you might not work there no more. You know, and like I
thought you meant like.
Oh no.
R.I.P.
We're not gonna hey, like the old co-host.
R.I.P. That's funny.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He pissed off Joaquin. That's what happens when you.
Oh man, Joaquin.
He pulls out Lucille.
Asu Madre. Finish him. Oh man, but anyways, man, like yeah, he basically, man, he took me under his wing also. So I had 3 mentors there. And every day I was surrounded around these guys, and these guys, besides work, they have investments. They're very savvy businessmen.
How to make your money work for you. That's what they teach you, those guys. Yeah.
Exactly. And now, like, he taught me how to save. He taught me how to invest. And now they're to the point where, it feels like it's the trendy thing to do right now as far as stocks. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I feel like everybody's doing, which is okay, because everybody does everything.
Right.
Only certain people are going to be successful in whatever.
That's true.
But, he's doing pretty good in the, and I'm kind of like, shit, if I would have stayed, I kind of would have learned that too with him. And now, but it's okay.
But you wouldn't have continued to do what you're doing now.
Exactly.
One of the things, like,
and then OVNI might have never came out.
Exactly. I worked sales about 3 years, and I noticed being there for 3 years, that made me a veteran. Because in sales, some guys only last a month.
It's tough.
It's tough. So, like, I got at one point I got really good at that job. Hey, how's it going? I sounded like a fucking one of those carnival guys. And over here we have, and then over here you decide not to pay this. Yeah.
Come on to the show.
Come on.
Come on in.
35, going to
You with the black guy.
Yeah. I got kind of good, not that good, but I was comfortable where I could make my quota-ish,
Yeah.
because sometimes it was ridiculous. Like every good salesman is gonna have 1 month where he might not sell shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what I like thought about is, like, first and foremost, for me at that point, I realized I'm not passionate about selling cable. Like, I really don't like TV that much.
Right.
So it's like, I thought about it. What if I use the same enthusiasm to sell myself and my shows and my content?
Right.
I'm pretty sure you have a similar thing where you're like, I use all this shit I learned
and put it into me.
Yeah.
And put it into me. And
that's why I mean it's important. Maybe a musician or artist, like, try that.
To at least know that.
Mm-hmm.
To at least know that. Have those skills, because
a lot of musicians get played when they don't know
the business. The business, man. I've seen it a lot. I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
And it's like that inspired me to learn. I'm like, you know what? If it takes me a little longer, I don't care. I'd rather know what I'm doing, because I'm the type of person, I want to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's that mean? What's going on there? What's that for? How could I hit up this person? What does it take for me to get on this interview? What does it take for me to get on that blog site or whatever? It's like, I need to learn how.
And every sale that doesn't go through, every failed sale, is because you didn't learn something.
Or something. And it's a process. There's a sales process. There's a 12-step sales process, and step 3 and 4 are like the most, I forgot exactly what they were, but I remember 3 and 4 were like the most important ones. Like the first one was like introduction. Second one was like relationship building. Like, I'll know somebody in like 5 minutes.
There's hella
I'll ask the right questions. Like, all you got to do is ask the right questions, open-ended questions. Don't ask people yes or no questions.
Yeah.
You won't get nowhere.
I saw that somewhere too.
You got to
avoid yes or no questions.
You got to let them sell themselves.
Right.
And at the end of themselves,
it's like this. Hey, do you like music? Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Exactly.
What kind of music do you like?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Good question.
All types of music. Man, you get in the car with me, man, you might listen to some reggae, then some reggaeton, then some corridos, then some bachata. Man, I just love music.
Yeah.
Music is beautiful.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
There you go.
I just learned something about you.
Right.
So you still play soccer?
From time to time we scrimmage. It was funny. Somebody said Marina earlier. San Leandro, Marina.
Mm-hmm.
I usually go play in Marina Park.
Nice.
They scrimmage there, like, well, not right now because it gets dark earlier.
Yeah.
But usually when the time changes, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, just if I have time to scrimmage,
That's a good place for that.
It's a beautiful park, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Where's that? Where?
It's San Leandro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's also somewhere in San Lorenzo, right, for soccer?
Yeah, it's
That's where I've been.
Kennedy Park. They have a train there. They have a train.
They put me as a goalie because he's a big guy, and I'll just take his shots. Oh, like stop.
I used to be on a soccer team, man, and I remember like they put me as goalie because I was tall.
Yeah.
I'm like, I used to hate to dive. I'm like, shit hurts.
I dove hella like it looked like Chris Farley. Fucking hella slow motion, like the shit's over here.
Especially like when the fields are like dirt.
Yeah, that
It was
shit
like
hurts.
no grass. You're like, what do I like? I don't have a long sleeve shirt, dude. Like, what do you want me to do? I don't know. And you know, like I have so many names. Like when it comes to like sports, they call me Nacho. Like my real name's Ignacio. You know, so
Where's DELACiiO come from?
it's funny, man. DELACiiO was actually given to me by a friend, Freddie Loza. We were on the way to Santa Rosa. That kind of rhymed. And it was actually right before OVNI was dropping. You know, I had
You're
to,
like a one-man show, man. I'm sorry.
it's all good. Because man, I've had so many artist names. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. You know, so previous to DELACiiO, I was named. You know, my nickname for longest was Ignacio de la Fuente. So it would be Rocket Iggy, aka Ignacio de la Fuente. That's how people knew me by for years. And you know, the Ignacio de la Fuente part was kind of like the name was kind of like a narco name because people like I like to wear botas. Like I have like this style. Like I like to wear botas, but like I'm like a narco rocker. I like to wear my leather jacket with the boots and shit. And like people are like, bro, you look like a narco. I've always got that my whole life. You look like a narco. I'm like, whatever. So I kind of rolled with that name. And I transitioned that to De La Fuente. So then I was named De La Fuente for a bit. I was rolling with that name. And I was just like, dude, like this name is too common. It's too common. If you Google it, I'm not gonna be the first one you find. Fuck that. You know? So I'm like, I need something original. But just like when I came up with OVNI, the name for my EP, I was like, it has to be organic. You know, I don't want to force a name.
Yeah.
And I was on the way to the studio with my boy, and I was like, bro, I need a name, man. Like, I'm looking for this name. And, like, you know, my friends, I would ask, you know, just in case somebody came up with a name that was dope. I'm like, oh, shit, let's go with that one. And he said some name, and I was like, that's kind of whack. And then he said DELACiiO. And I was like, got a nice ring to it.
DELACiiO.
I'm like, all right, say it again. DELACiiO. And, like, for me, like, when I say it, it still sounds a little weird to me, but when other people say it, I like it.
I thought that was your first name. Because it sounds like your first name.
I might name that. I might name my son that when I have a son one day.
DELACiiO.
I mean, like, you're gonna be
Even
DELACiiO.
if it's a daughter, man, why not?
DELACiiO.
DELACiiO. There you go.
DELACiiO.
That sounds like a good name too.
Now, does that have a meaning in English?
No, man.
Oh,
it's
you came up with it.
So
you came up with
basically,
it.
So basically, I don't know. My friend came up. He actually gave it to me.
Wait. So now you can create a meaning to it.
There you go.
I mean, DELACiiO.
Great hair.
It could be like a hair product. DELACiiO hair products. Because they have like, dude, I don't know if you heard. They have like that shampoo called Tío Nacho.
No, never.
Yeah. It's
I want it now though.
It's like honey based and shit. And like they had a commercial come on, and like I have my little cousin. His name is Junior, and we're at the house watching TV, and the commercial comes on. And he's like, Tío Nacho, you had shampoo? Hilarious.
I just imagine like I heard like you saying that now. I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's
imagine
funny.
the commercial. Échate esa madre en la pinche pelo.
Te va a quitar la caspa, güey.
Yeah, like Tío Nacho. Bro, we've been at it almost an hour now.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's actually been past an hour, but
Oh, wow.
it's great. It didn't feel that long, man.
No, not at all.
Before we go, what's like any last message you want to put out there for the listeners where we can find you?
Yes, sir. So you guys can find me on all social media at DELACiiO. That's DELACiiO. You can go to my website, DELACiiO.com, spelled the same way. You can find my videos directly on there. I'm dropping some new merch for my OVNI EP, the OVNI capsules coming out. I also have my clothing brand / lifestyle brand, Asu Madre, so you guys could go check that out, asumadre.com. And yeah, stay tuned. Just follow me on there. We have a lot of dope music coming out in the future. A lot of dope collaborations coming out. And overall, man, just a lot of dope projects, man. It was an honor to be here with you guys. Thank you guys for having me on the show. I wish we could talk for another hour, but I'll come back.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, definitely. And let's just say your younger self who was working sales is listening in on this. What would you say to that? Like, to that person?
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process and remember the why. Remember the why. always just keep going. No matter how dark a day could be, a moment could be, there's always light, you know. And at the end of the day, you could have people around you. Just make sure you trust the people around you. You know, if you have your family, love your family, and you know, you have your parents, love your parents, appreciate them while you can. That's what I would tell my younger self, is to definitely spend more time with family. Yeah. Spend more time with family, appreciate them more, because you can never know how much cool shit your family, your mom or your dad could fucking do. Yeah. Man, my mom's written some songs that she's gave to me. Wow. And fucking bangers. Yeah. You know, and it's crazy, man. Like it's just dope. The more I vibe with my mom, like I just love the relationship that I'm building more with her, you know. And it's just I wish I could have done it at an earlier age, but everything does happen for a reason.
You weren't ready.
I was not ready.
He's ready now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for listening. That's been the Voice Party. We're out.
Asu Madre.
Ooh.
Oh, that was dope.
That was hot.
Oof.
That was hot.
That was good, man. That was good.
That was awesome.